Hello, I'm back with a bang. I'm trying to do this while there's a little bit of quietness going on. But Hazel's getting the dogs out of the back at the moment, and Valerie and Sky, they're just not having it. But, you know, such is the case with lurchers and whippets. They're very, shall we say, not the brightest buttons in the world. Bless them, bless them. So today we are still in the Brecon Beacons, and we have come out to a place called Tretower Castle and Court, which is medieval in its origins, in its essence. Very historical, lots and lots that have gone on here over the centuries. Very pretty, and it's nestled very much deeply in the actual Brecon Valleys itself. So we'll see what this has got to offer here. I'm looking forward to it. Never been here before. So yeah, let's get outside, have a look around, and see what it's got to offer. By all accounts, it's got quite a lot, and from the look of it, yeah, the saying is that it's like you step back into the medieval period. It still has a very strong essence of that. So we'll see, shall we? Give you an idea, or some idea or semblance of where it is. So you can see the Brecons all right back there. A lot of them are actually covered in mist at the moment, as you can probably make out from up there. But yeah, here we are. And this is the visitor centre, where we enter. Oh, that was good. Right, back again. It's absolutely freezing here. There's a wind blowing through, a wild wind blows through yonder. And I've got quite a bad cold that I picked up over the Christmas holidays. Sod's law, isn't it? If you're going to get a cold, you're going to get them on the holidays. So, yeah, but I'm going to battle through and see what this place has got to offer. But just to let you know, it's freezing and bitterly cold, and there's a wind. It's a prover in Wales. There's a sign in Welsh and in English. Right, so we're at the entrance now. It does look, they were real, well, it's very true. It is very, very medieval in its essence. Family had just gone through the main gate there. So look at this. Fantastic. That's proper eerie. I love it. So as you go through the main gate, it's absolutely stunning. They're all made to do that, and then you go upstairs to the rest. Very beautiful. You can see how medieval this looks. Look at this. Imagine the people that have walked through these. Imagine the people that have walked through these buildings, the corridors, echoes through time. Yeah, look, imagine the amount of people that have walked these corridors for centuries. History that was played out here. Decisions made, families that lived, people that visited, Christmases that have gone, passed into history, as have the people. But all a part of the tapestry of this great nation. Our history, our ancestors. So this is where we're standing at the moment. This was built in the 17th century to the 1600s, and it goes back to a man called Vaughan. But he was the second incumbent here because this land was given to a knight called Picard, going back over 1,000 years, and it was given to him by the king for services rendered for being a very, very brave knight, a very, very loyal servant, and it was given to him, and he put his castle here on these lands. But as I say, that was Picard. This was built by Vaughan, and it later became a farm with obviously a castle. He was the incumbent of both. But we're going to go through and have a look at the castle in a moment. But just look how stunning that is. So we're going now away from the farm buildings, what were, and into like a little landscape garden. Again, very, very pretty. It's mad to think, isn't it, that there's over 1,000 years of history, human history, recorded history on this land. Obviously the land's as old as time itself, but the first incumbents, the first people that we know that landed here, that had it, were the Normans, that lived on it. Pretty amazing. Look at this. in here. What have we got in here? Oh, look at this. This is gorgeous. Oh. Imagine the cooks in here, the farm workers preparing the sumptuous dishes for dinner. Imagine this at Christmas. Like I say outside, imagine the Christmases this place has seen. Yeah, just imagine the amount of Christmases this place has seen. The children that ran riot here on Christmas mornings. The families that sat around celebrating the Christmases. The big-eyed, bright-eyed children that came down to maybe go by the Inglenook, open some presents. Trying not to conflate yesterday with today, because obviously different time periods meant different things to people. But always the essence of the Christian story behind it. The birth of Jesus. And this is fantastic. Just to think the echoes of those that walked before are probably still here, ingrained into the materials of the building. The footsteps may still echo as well as those lost voices now consigned to history. Just phenomenal. Look at the old milk churn. On for butter. Absolutely superb. Just superb. So I missed these, but Fox pointed them out to me. He's got a potted history of this place. But if you look at those marks, the markings there, those are witch marks, or marks to ward off evil or negative spirits. Obviously, such was the custom of this time period. They believed that everything, or they believed in those type of things. I still believe in that myself, really, but the shape of a V, and the V is meant to represent the Virgin Mary, or Mother Mary, Mary, Mother of Christ. So they believe that to ward off anything negative or evil. But just look at those, amazing, centuries and centuries old. Pretty cool. We're now in, I guess, what would have passed for part of the kitchen, possibly the pantry, the boar's head there, pottery, sort of mullioned windows. Stunning. So here we're in the great feasting room, the great, I guess it would have been the main room centuries ago, with the Christmas tree there, and the peasants over there pretending to be regal lords and ladies. But that's the head table, obviously, where the knights would have feasted, the gentry would have feasted. And these are for lowly people like myself, these tables down here. But look at that great big Inglenook. Imagine the boars and the meat they would have spat in there on the fire, warming up against the flames, ready to eat with mulled wine, normal wine, mead, and I don't know, beer possibly. But you can see there, one of the peasants is getting up and making her way to... Look at the frieze behind. That's representative, I guess, of the life of the knight that once inhabited these lands, that owned them. Pretty fantastic. And there's Willow, hands over her eyes, pretending not to be seen. There's a whippet there, a gentrified hound. And then out again. Look at these windows, how ancient they are. Look at that glass. Right, so you can see over there in the distance the castle. It's not that far actually, but it's very wet and it's quite muddy, and stupidly I've just bought a pair of light shoes. I didn't think the castle was across some open ground. I thought you could get straight into it, but there's not much of it left, to be fair, and what is left is just sort of a main turret and a couple of walls and a bridge behind, which I don't think is anything, no relation to the castle itself. It's pretty modern, I think, sort of certainly 19th century, modern for us. But yeah, the castle is there. I guess if I can get a zoom in on it. But that's the castle. That was the original building that was here. So that was the one that Picard built his, well, he built that castle on. The Norman knight that was given the land by the king back in the day. And then if you follow it round, you've then got the back of the farmhouse, or the medieval 16th, 17th century, 1600 building here, right here. So as I say, there's not much left to the castle, sadly, but at least there's something left. At least there's some marker for history, for someone's life, for lots of people's lives. It's amazing, isn't it? 1,000 years and you still, it's almost like a putting your mark on eternity, isn't it? 1,000 years later, 1,100 years later, and we still remember the name of the chap who built that, and you know why it was given to him. It's amazing. I often think as well, do you know what? I wonder if the spirits of the people still walk here. I wonder if there's still echoes of them in the landscape, vibrations of them in the walls, pictures of them in the artifacts, echoes of their footsteps down through the centuries, possibly still living their lives out here, or knowing full well that they're now on the other side of the curtain that we call life. I could wax lyrical about this. I could wax lyrical about history all the time. It's that one thing that really does it for me. The thought of those that came before us. And we're a culmination of all that they were and all that they used to be. Fantastic. Beautiful. So this is called the solar room, and there was a solar room in the castle, and it's nothing to do with the sun apparently, from what they were saying. It's more to do, solar is the French word for alone, and what it was, this was a family room back in the day. The walls apparently would have been plastered and painted. It would have looked a lot posher than it does at the moment, and it would have been for families to relaxing, rest, take time out, and to also have private conversations in. And if there were visitors to the castle that had a particular private conversation, or to this farmhouse, they would be brought in here to talk away from the servants and other guests. And through that door there, that was the room where we saw Hazel and Willow up by the banquet hall with a feasting room. It's amazing. And apparently there's still a tenterhook. I've tried to look for it above the door somewhere, and that was used for holding the old friezes on, sort of wall decorations that were woven. But pretty amazing place. But yeah, imagine back in the day, eh? Imagine this place. Things it's seen, stories it's heard, secrets it's holding. Just unbelievable. And very, very beautiful. How pretty that is, how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that absolutely stunning? Well, I'm sure you'll agree with me, what a landscape this is, what a beautiful place this building, this castle, farm, what a wonderful landscape that it's nestled in. It's absolutely stunning. We're so lucky to have so much of this history in the British Isles. And Wales itself stands as a country that is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, with such a rich vein of history that runs through it. So tomorrow we're off to see something else which is very historical and of great value between the Scots and the English, the Welsh and the English. I don't know, we'll see. But it has something to do with Henry VIII, but we'll pop along and see that tomorrow. It's in the cathedral here in Brecon, and I only caught wind of it yesterday, and as soon as my eyes rolled in my head like a slot machine, and jackpot came up in both eyes. So I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow, as is Fox, because Fox, like me, he's a big historical buff, big history buff. But today it's going to be thank you for following us on this venture. Thank you for following us on this vlog, and I'll see you in the next one. Speak to you soon. Cheers, guys. Bye now.